I actually live on the Guild Wheel in Cotton, so I can just go out my door and do 21 miles pretty safely in most weathers. You get a bit of pedestrian issues on the Guild Wheel, so you've got good cyclists and bad cyclists, you've got good pedestrians, you've got bad pedestrians.
I'm Dutch, so I think I can't remember a time that I didn't have a bicycle. So I've always cycled. You know, I have just really enjoyed cycling around Preston because I find that motorists are less aggressive than they were in Manchester. I always cycled in Manchester, but you were not always treated very well.
Centre of town, particularly around sort of Fishergate, is quite well provided with cycle racks, so you can lock your bicycle easily next to the shop you want to visit.
If we've got the family going out, you need to really consider traffic, obstacles, etc. What we're really after is a nice straight path from the centre of Preston to the outskirts onto the Guild Wheel.
It's like driving a car where you have to pedal. I can't walk easily because of a hip problem, but it doesn't affect me cycling, and it's wonderful to be out and be able to see other people and the countryside around.
Certainly the Guild Wheel is one of our favourites, and the marina is lucky for us, it's just round the corner.
On your own it is, much more easier than four of us biking together. End up sort of keeping track as where all four of us are, and at times you can't be riding together because you're one behind the other. Just not feeling safe, I think, is the worst thing, because as soon as we leave our road you are joining the main traffic.
Cycling into Preston from here is great because there's lots of Guild Wheel, lots of bits of paths, but once you get down to sort of Ashton and Watery Lane and around that area, they're really complex and busy road systems and junctions, so that makes it really quite hard work.
I've just cycled in now through Higher Walton past the Capital Centre, sharing the road with traffic, pedestrians and other cyclists of course, and I've seen all aspects. Families on the footpath, which is great. A commuting cyclist on the footpath had to scare the life out of a lady walking, so he had to slow down, and I stayed on the road because I'm a confident cyclist.
But I think the really worst thing are some of the junctions where there are two lanes, like at the end of the A6, where you suddenly realise that as a cyclist, to turn right you have to be on the other side of the road. In other places there are bigger gaps at the front of junctions that you can actually cross safely in, and that's quite useful, and it's just a paint job.
I got it during COVID to try and cheer people up, and people are always happy if they've got an ice cream. At the railway station, it's brilliant now. There is a dedicated secure cycle facility next to a bike shop itself. The bike shop staff are fantastic. If you have an issue you can just go and chat with them, and they've helped me out a couple of times, certainly when I've had difficult repairs to do. Preston City Council need to work very closely with Lancashire County Council. That would really help things, so they join up where they're doing work. Repairing the roads is a really big issue because cars can cope with ruts and holes, but bicycles find it really difficult.
I used to live in Manchester for like 3 months. In Manchester is a lot better than here because they've got plenty of roads just for the cycling, but in Preston I can't see it, especially around town centre. You have to mix it with the pavement for the pedestrian. Most of the time I'm just go for the lakes for the cycling. It's a lot safer and more enjoyable than working cycling in town centre or in roads or something like that.
Active travel is the way forward in our fight against climate change. Recent research by Oxford University has shown that cycling is 10 times more important than electric cars for reaching net zero in our cities. That's why we need your pledges to improve cycling and all forms of active travel across Preston. The good news is that the County Council is already allocating funding for a number of schemes, including the Penwitham to Preston Cycle Superhighway and the Friargate intersection on the Ringway. Moving away from the city centre, we need to focus on low-traffic neighbourhoods, a development of the traffic-free schemes already evident off Fishergate in the pandemic. LTNs are spreading across the country as more people become conscious of the high level of air pollution in our towns and cities, and Preston is no exception. And encouraging children to cycle means a fitter and healthier generation. That's already encouraged in Preston through the Bike Club, a national venture which has some 500 children in the area renting bikes through the scheme.
At the Bike Club we offer pay monthly kids bikes which you exchange as your children grow, where you can just borrow a bike for £5 to £10 to £15 a month. Then when the bike has been used and is no longer needed, we collect the bike, give them the next size up or the next bike they need, bring that used bike back to our refurbishment centre, and then it goes through roughly a 30-point checklist. It's then ready to go back into our fleet and go back out again. About 3% of our bikes are in the Preston area, which definitely shows that there's a huge amount of opportunity in Preston to get more people and families cycling and to give them a really good introduction to how to ride a bike.
And what about the cost of all this? Well, it's estimated, according to the Preston Transport Plan, that every £1 spent on cycle infrastructure can generate no less than £5.50 worth of social benefit. So what are we waiting for?